hope your back is feeling a little bit better. If you've been doing your work, I can pretty much guarantee it will. So today, we're going to really focus on not rounding like this. You see that rounding? But hinging the hips back. So I want you to stand up near a counter or a chair like I am, and just put your hands on it and walk your feet back just a little bit. So you can still find your triple S, which is your skull, your scapula, and your sacrum all kind of in one line. So that does take a long time to kind of get that straight feeling. Good. Now just bend your knees softly and gather in your belly. Good. Now take your hands off of the back of the chair. Stick your fingers in your hip creases. So that's right here, right where your thigh bone meets your pelvis. And just push the hips back. So I don't even want you to think about like bending forward. I just want you to push the hips back and see how that feels. Okay. Now I need you to check because of course I'm not there with you, but just check to make sure you're not doing this. Okay. So the chest stays up. You keep your triple S in line. You bend your knees slightly and you stick your butt all the way back and then stand tall. Stick your butt all the way back, then stand tall. Stick your butt all the way back. Good. So you'll notice there's no like softening or kind of bending in my back, and my belly is actually doing quite a bit of work here. Good. Okay, so we'll do 4 more of those. Make sure your fingers are pushing into your hip creases. We're just trying to get that movement so that it's right from the hips. And then the last one. Good. All right, from there, come and stand up nice and tall, hands on the back of the chair. You're going to step to the right and then try to bend your knees. And so it's like a little squat, pushing the hips back. Come back up. Right foot comes to the center. Left foot steps to the left. Yeah. Fingers go into the hip creases. Bend the knees, tip forward. So this helps strengthen the glutes. The stronger the glutes are, the less back pain you'll have. Good. And it's important you just go slow. You're just retraining your body. So we're stepping to the left, back to the center. Good. So you'll do that several more times. Basically, you step to the right, both knees bend. This is kind of fun to do with a partner as well, because what you can do is you can have them watch to make sure your butt is really going back. Okay, pushing back, good. So you can stay there and do that several more times, and you'll start to notice that your glutes will warm up, and your belly is getting lots of work. Good. And then after you're done that, just come to a standing position. Hands right onto your hips, and you can take your right hand behind your head and your left hand behind your back. So it looks like this, and just push your head into your hand. So you'll remember this from before. Yeah. And then you can just march. So again, you're going to feel the knee lift. And it doesn't have to be high. And then you can switch sides. Hands. Yeah. There you go. Good. And then just lifting. Nice. All right. So if we were going to put all of this stuff together, it would look like this. So you get up. So this is you. Working, of course. Get up. Go behind your chair. Standing nice and tall. Fingers in the hip creases, push back. So we'll do 7 of these. Good. Belly nice and tight, bum going back. We've got 4 more. You'll get good at it too, so that you don't have to put your fingers in your hip crease, but don't worry about that. Just keep putting your fingers in your hip crease for now. Last one, and then we're going to add movement. So we'll step off to the right, bend both knees, sit back. Foot comes back in, step off to the left. So keep going to the right, and then to the left. What's going to happen is that your body will be moving to the right, and you might want to just have your right knee bent, but bend both of your knees. Good. So both of your knees, you've got equal weight distribution. And this does take a few to get used to. So we'll do 4 more here. 3, 2, good. And the last one, good. Right hand behind the head, left hand behind the lower back, and we start to march. And you can switch your hands as often as you like, just marching. Good. So do this along with your other exercises. Yes, good. Nice. To strengthen and really try to ease that sciatic. Okay, good. Now, one thing you need to understand is the rounding. When you round your back like this, it's called spinal flexion. You're pushing the vertebrae in a way that it doesn't want to go when you have back pain. When you have back pain, extension or coming here is what we want to work on. Okay, this type of like flexion and rounding pushes the disc out. So you want to really try to lengthen and extend. So the last thing I'll show you for that lengthen and extend is you can put your hands on a chair and just lift up. You can hold this here for a few moments, breathing. You might not be able to get your shoulders right on, like his back quite as far as mine are, and that's okay. You can just have your hands a little bit wider if you've got a countertop or something, but just extend. Yes, and the extension there is very similar to what we do in our yoga classes, which is cobra. So I'm not saying you need to go, or sorry, locust. So I'm not saying you need to go and do this right now, but we are working our way up to this. This is a very good pose if you've got back pain. It lengthens and it stretches. Wishing you some good movement, and I'll talk to you in a couple weeks.